Hello, dear listener at Cardiac Radio. This is 11 p.m., our classroom hour, when we're studying the Emmanuel's book, Ceifa de Luz, or Harvest of Light. This book was psychographed by Chico Xavier in 1972, published by the Brazilian Spiritist Federation in 1979. And this book comes to us as new guidelines, guideposts, instructions for our illumination. When we illuminate, we can see more clearly. We have no doubts, no hesitations anymore. We don't get ourselves lost in the doubts of our everyday life because now we know. We know, as Emmanuel said in the previous chapter, that our beautiful destiny of happiness awaits for us. So, as Emmanuel says in chapter 50, before the divine sower, one of the most beautiful chapters, he says to us that believe in the divine power that created you for immortality. Rise to the sovereign light in the certainty that you will arrive under the generous protection of the celestial orchard man, Jesus, to the fruitfulness of true happiness. And talking about it all today, chapter 51 is about opportunity and ourselves. It's our opportunity. What opportunity is this? Because often we don't know, like, where do I go? What do I do? So, where do we go? Majority of people on earth, when you talk to them, they say, I don't know, I want to help, and I don't know how. Majority of people, it's very, very common. I want to help, I want to help the world, and we actually don't see where the opportunity is. So today we're going to study this beautiful passage. And welcome, Silvio Tero, Hipólito, Dona Verducci, Honey Jones, Sol Souza, Andrea Torres. Big hug to you, my friend. And Sunshine, Teresa Castro is also here. Chris Anastasia is here with us as well, as far as I can see, right? And as Hipólito is saying, let us learn. And we are not alone either here. Carol Correa is with us.
Hello, friends.
Thank you, Carol, for joining us. So let us see what Emmanuel says. He begins by quoting a letter that Paul of Tarsus wrote to the young Timothy. Yes, Timothy was young. And when we are young, usually, we have a lot of options. We always have lots of options, but we think we have the world as options. We still do, no matter our age range, right? We still have a lot of options. But when we're young, we see it and we're lost. Like, where do I go? What do I do? And he says, as a recommendation, do your best to present yourself to God as one approved, a worker who does not need to be ashamed, or who correctly handles the word of truth. That is in 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 15. Emmanuel then explains to us, do not admit that the good takes place at the distance of patient effort that materializes it. The Creator establishes a tree in the seed. The creature can protect and perfect it. You receive from the divine providence the treasure of the hours, the support of knowledge, the possibility of acting, the benefit of the relationship, but the formation of the opportunity to fulfill you in your own hopes depends on you. There's no professional confidence without the proper certificate of competence. You will not effectively have the machine at your disposal without knowing the gears in its respective function. In the areas of the spirit, the laws are the same. You will strive to gain understanding. You will practice respect for others. You will accentuate your service as much as possible in support of others. And you will collect the sympathy you need in your neighbor, so that your neighbor may help you in the edification of your ideals. Then you will accredit yourself to that opportunity to that so that the opportunity will value you. In any task of improvement and elevation, in which we hope for new acquisitions of peace and joy, happiness and security, let us not forget that the possibility comes from God and work comes from us. What a beautiful lesson. Because many people await an angel to come and say, you have a mission. You're going to create the most beautiful project. You know when a guardian angel is going to do this? Never. Never, no. Because they understand about the human psyche and they know that we need to get to the finish line by walking mile per mile, not by visualizing the finish line alone. We need to walk by ourselves voluntarily, free will. If they tell us you're going to do this, there's no merit. We need to find out. So they encourage us. You have the first impulse. I want to help. They say, yes, go ahead. And then you make an effort to identify how to help and where to help. And then they say, yes, to the right, you're right. Keep going. And then you identify that you need to walk 2 more miles to reach there, and they keep stimulating you. All of us. They never come and say, yes, now you have 10,000 books to write. And then we freak out like, 10,000 books? Which books? Oh my gosh. And then we get desperate and nervous. And then, oh my gosh, even the most advanced on the planet. How do I know? Look at Chico Xavier. Of course he was prepared for that reincarnation. Emmanuel didn't come to him and knock on his head and say, knock, knock, who is there? Medium Chico Xavier. Come on, stand up and work. And forgive me for the joke, but that's what many people think. That the spirits are going to come and reveal fantastic missions. And that's a fallacy. They see in us the sprouting of the willingness to help, and it says, go on. I want to study mediumship. And they say, yes, go ahead. They encourage us. And then we need to walk towards the bookstore and buy. And then we're there like, what do I do? Which book? And then they inspire us. Look at that direction. And then we see a book. The Medium's book by Allan Kardec. We pick up. And they say, yes, read it. Study it. We read and study. And they say, I want to form a group. Yes, they say, go ahead. They don't tell you, call person A, B, C, D, E, Z. They say, go ahead. And you say, I'm going to call people. And they say, yes, go ahead. Like a good parent or a good educator to the child or to the student. You don't do their homework. You don't give them the final answer. You keep pushing them and encouraging them to walk towards the final conclusion. This is the most important thing for us in our lives. Many people are not fulfilling their tasks because they are waiting for a fantastic plan to be revealed to them. Big, impacting, famous. It's not going to happen. Right, Kara, what do you think when we talk about opportunity in us, as Emmanuel says?
I think that God trusts us in our divine potential, but it's up to us to harvest that potential. Hence the book Harvest of Light. It's not like light onto you, it's harvest of light that requires work, effort, patience, and repetition, as Emmanuel is saying. We are here to learn. Earth is a school, is not a vacation resort.
Yes.
So we are here to actually take the lessons, and obviously Emmanuel and our other loving mentors are not going to do the lessons or the homework for us. The effort is on us. That's why Emmanuel says, let us not distance ourselves from patience and effort in the fulfillment of our duties, because good students know that they need to put in the effort themselves.
Exactly. That's a beautiful take, Carol. And Dulce is saying, God help those who help themselves. To do good needs a lot of effort. It doesn't come easy, but when you understand that it's necessary, you are the first one to be helped. Beautiful, Dulce. Thank you for sharing this. See Valéria Benfica here. Hello, Valéria. So Carol brought to us the first insight, explanation, instruction from Emmanuel. He says, do not think that the good comes out of patient effort. Okay, so let's mark down. Patient effort. Because he's not saying effort. He's saying patient effort. But what is patient effort? Huh? What is patient effort? What is it, Kara?
It's to know that we are not going to be perfect the first time we try something, and that we need to be persistent, and devoted to the task. That it needs to be continuous and coherent, like Mentor Joseph always reminds us of the sun rising and setting down every day beautifully. We need to model ourselves after nature and follow the cycle of life as well, and learning is part of the process.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's perseverance, continuous effort. And it's interesting because we see people get excited at the beginning. They start reading Spiritism or anything good. They're like, yes, I want to help.
Yeah.
But how about doing this every day? Huh? And how about continuing it every week after week, week after week? We need to think about this. It's vital. Vital. So you're right, Donna Verducci. It's about perseverance. We need to make an effort and have patience. It's about time. You have to wait because you do your part. And as Paul said, I planted, Apollo watered it, but the fruit comes from God. The harvest,
and in God's
right?
time, not in our time.
Exactly.
That's an act of faith to be able to surrender to God's time and say, God, you are my Lord, you are my master, you are the supreme source of everything, so I trust my life to you.
Yeah, that's the take on it. God's time. And that's why in the next paragraph he says, the Creator creates the tree inside with the potential inside of the seed, but it is on us to work on it. Yes, there is nothing. We are co-creators, and that's something that people don't explain to us. That God, when you're reborn, it's as if God is saying, come on, I'm counting on you, not only for yourself, but be reliable for others. So that's the exercise for us in the next 24 hours. Are we reliable? Because there are people who say, I can do it, but they do not deliver. They give excuses. They justify themselves. They deliver once and then they don't keep on delivering. To open a service of the good, it's simple. But to maintain it, it's a whole nother story. It requires patient effort
And commitment
and
as well.
commitment. Exactly.
It's not something that we can just say, oh, today I want to do it, but maybe next year, not tomorrow.
Exactly. So I see Gabriel Inácio is here. Welcome, Gabriel. It's good that you made it to the live. Where are you coming from? Would you like to share with us? So, Emmanuel then keeps, it's important for us to break down each and every sentence because Emmanuel does not spare words. He's writing what is necessary, the minimum that we need, but the essential. And he says, you receive from the divine providence. What do you receive? Did you know that you have a treasure, your time? You received it from God. I did too. Carol did too. The support of knowledge, it doesn't come from us. The possibility of taking action, wow. The benefit of the relationship, everything comes from God. But he says, but the molding of the opportunity is on us. It's like this. You're given a piano, you're given a book and a teacher. But if you don't sit down and practice it patiently, nothing's going to happen. You can have Tchaikovsky next to you, teaching you a beautiful, the most expensive piano is almost $400,000.
Wow.
It's amazing. And you have the piano and a beautiful book. Tchaikovsky is teaching you. He goes home. Next week he comes back and he asks, show me what you did. And you're like, I forgot. So it's not on Tchaikovsky. It's not on the $400,000 piano to do it or the beautiful book. So it's on us. We need to sit down, pray, and say, now it's my time. I need to sit down and create that opportunity. Oh, but I don't have time. That's a classic one. But Emmanuel begins, well, you have a treasure. Time, you have been given time, but you need to create the opportunity. He says,
God gives us all the tools that we need, but it's up to us to make use of those tools, right?
Oh, Gabriel is saying he won't be able to stay. You're in Brazil. The beautiful Fiesp. That's beautiful. Welcome. Thank you for bringing your good energies to us, Gabriel. So, he says, it's on us. Sometimes how many pens do you have? Do you know, friends? How many pens? Because nowadays, depending on where you live, you have many pens, pencils. But how much are we using them to write? Nowadays, we have computers, phones, tablets. Kardec didn't have any of this. And he was able to compile all those books in the magazine that brought Spiritism to life. We have electricity, we have bathroom, we have air conditioning, heaters when it's a cold weather, we have microwaves when we want to heat up the food. Kardec didn't have any of this. And look what he's done. And we're still waiting for a magical thing to do something fantastic. But it doesn't happen. It's as simple as ABC. A, sit. 2, take the pen. 3, write on the paper. Ta-da! Magic, right, Carol?
4, be
Be
patient.
patient and
5, be
keep writing.
determined. Yeah.
Exactly. Rihanna is saying the sun is only the vessel that God works through. We need to be persistent for the light of God to come through us to others. Thank you, Rihanna, for the beautiful, beautiful reminder. So he says there's no professional confidence without the proper certificate of competence, saying we need to work on it.
Mhm.
And he says in the areas of the spirit, the laws are the same. He talks about laws. Why are we emphasizing this word laws? Because he's talking about order.
Mhm.
He's talking about the dynamics of our essence. We need to understand it to know how to operate ourselves. When we're reading this message, it's as if we're reading a manual that talks about ourselves. It's telling how we function, how we operate, and how life is operated.
Mhm.
So when we read these books, we are instructing ourselves about our lives. So he says, you will strive to gain understanding. It's on us. Understanding doesn't come like this. Remember when we talked about it? We need to make an effort
Yeah.
to understand people. I'll give an example. I know people in certain areas of Brazil who lacked the proper nutrition, and there are many people in this world. They lack the proper nutrition in their childhood. When they were teenagers, very young, they had to start using either lenses or glasses
Mhm.
because they lacked the proper nutrition. Their vision was not the same. So when they were in school sometimes, they couldn't see, they couldn't understand what the teacher was writing on the board.
Mhm.
And then if you're the teacher, you're like upset, like, oh my gosh, this student doesn't see, doesn't do what I ask, doesn't copy the lesson. But ask the student what's going on. It's we, the ones who need to strive for understanding. Some people don't believe they are capable. Sometimes I ask myself, why don't these people help us to do this? And Joseph says, sometimes they lack the confidence, or sometimes they lack the you see the potential they don't see in themselves yet. So it's on you to stimulate, to invest, to keep boosting like a child and saying, come on, you can do it. Come, keep coming. And often the task of the president of a spirit center is like a coach
Mhm.
or the assistant coach. You keep saying, come on, let's try it again, let's do something else, but never give up. And he says here, you will practice respect for others. So it's on us to respect. We conquer respect. He's talking about things that we conquer. You will emphasize your service in support to others. It's on us to decide if we want to help others or not. And you will collect the sympathy. So, like, conquer the heart of the neighbor to come and help in the ideals, not the ideas. Not like, oh, let's go for a drink. That's an idea. It's not an ideal. We're talking about the ideal. How about if every night we pray for this person? Oh, but why should I pray? And then you talk to the friend, and the friend says, oh, okay, count on me.
Mhm.
And then you join forces. Then you will accredit yourself to that opportunity you value. So he's saying, you are the one who is going to be coaching yourself to that opportunity. I know many people say, but I can't do this. Today, Karen and I, we were joking because we were preparing a meeting for the center and we are going through the accounts, finances of the center. We're not the treasurer, we're not the assistant treasurer, but we are one of the directors and we need to go through it because there is nobody else. Are we accountants? No.
No,
Right,
not in
Kara?
this
Not in
life,
this life.
anyways.
Are we experts on it? No.
No.
But we have to learn. It's a sense of responsibility before the community, before the ones who donate to Kardec Radio, to the Spiritist Magazine, to the Spirit Side of Virginia. So people will know that everything that they put in will be transformed into new projects. So for us here, at this very moment, Emmanuel is saying, in any task of improvement and elevation, let us not forget that God is going to give us a possibility, but it is on us to work on it. Effort, repetition, effort, repetition, effort, repetition, and time is a concession of God. So if we consider God's time in the equation, patient effort, we'll never give up. So the question for us is, what am I not cherishing as a true possibility that comes from God? Are you a medium? Do you know you are? Have you formed a group? Have you studied it? No, that's one. God gave you the possibility, but it is on you to work. Whatever you are good on, God gave you the possibility or the potential in you, the opportunity you need to cherish. Some people say, but Vanessa, it's so hard. Well, but that's effort, patient effort.
We are here to make effort.
Right.
Otherwise, we wouldn't be in school.
We wouldn't be school,
We wouldn't learn. We would
right?
be on vacation.
Yeah.
If we were ready to graduate from school, we would be on vacation. And in the universe, there is no vacation because God is constantly creating and spreading love all around and counting on us. Paul says that God is in urgent need of excellent workers. So we are not here to rest, we are here to work. And this is something that Emmanuel constantly reminds us of, and that as incarnated spirits, sometimes we fail to remember. We
Exactly.
think that we are here to fulfill our ideas, but we are indeed here to fulfill our ideals. And the ideals are always greater than us because they come from the divine creator.
Exactly. Powerful, Carol, as our dear Angelita is saying. And beautiful, Gabriel
God is
Inácio.
power.
Yes, he's saying, I'm going to make an effort to be here because I'm really excited and happy. I'm even crying. My English improved a lot since I've started listening to cardiac radio, and I can practice it through very, very good teachings. I agree with you. Beautiful,
Beautiful.
Gabriel. Angel Gabriel.
Yes.
Beautiful Gabriel. And you know, friends, what is our homework? Hmm? Mentor Joseph is saying to us, one of the homeworks for us is to identify a possibility in our lives that was presented by God. Sometimes through a person, through a book, through a course, through a dream.
Through emotional management course.
Ah,
There's an
well, yeah,
opportunity
yeah, yeah.
presenting itself now,
Exactly.
right? Why wait? We have an opportunity now.
Yes. So Carol is reminding us that on October 6th, we're going to have a true possibility here, and it's on us to cherish it. It's this emotional empowerment course at Cardiac Radio at 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's actually not going to be live. It's going to be a course, only those registered. It's going to be a fundraising opportunity to help Cardiac Radio's projects. And we are going to be delivering that possibility. And those who register are cherishing the opportunity. But besides that one, thank you for the reminder, Carol.
Yeah.
But besides that one, in the next 24 hours, let us identify. I'm going to tell you something that Mentor Joseph is reminding us now. Let us especially identify the possibilities of the heart, he says. Because the external possibilities are doable, but the internal ones. God put those family members in our lives. Possibility. But it is on us to work on that relationship. Take the opportunity. It's about everything in our relationships with ourselves, with others, and God that we need to cherish as an opportunity. That's the most important part. The feeling, the heart. We can have 10,000 courses, 10,000 titles. They are not going to be sufficient for our evolution. We need to open our hearts to love. So, Mentor Joseph is saying, unlock your heart in the next 24 hours and embrace the possibility that God is giving you to cherish opportunities of love, to love and to be loved. Okay? So that's it, my friends. Tomorrow, when we come back, you see, we're not joking. Mentor Joseph already knows the next chapter,
Yeah.
which is about spiritual
Wow.
family. You see, this book,
Mentor Joseph studies really hard.
he,
He puts a lot of effort
I
into
bet
his
he
work.
did.
Yeah.
And then Emmanuel, as wise as he is as an educator, he compiled this book in a sequential, in a sequence of topics that tie together. And now we're going to be studying tomorrow in a spiritual family. And he says to us, listen to this, how beautiful. The one that needs, the one that demands more understanding and care is the one that lacks peace and needs more love.
Wow.
What is that again? No, come back for tomorrow. That's just a teaser. Right, Carol?
Right on.
Tomorrow we will be back, God willing, for
God
more. So, right now, we just close our eyes and say, thank you, God, for the opportunity of co creating with you. What an adventure of love. May we become wiser and embrace the possibilities you grant to us and turn them into opportunities of love and wisdom. And so be it. Thank you, friends.
Thank you.
Thank you, Silvio. Thank you, Sunshine. Thank you, Daisy.
Aww.
Beautiful Gabriel. A wife, 4 children, dog, 2 cats. Mamma mia.
Wow.
And our dear Dulce. Tomorrow we'll have more Dulce. Until tomorrow, God willing. Bye bye.
Hi, friends.